Hey you! You're watching a highlight from the DynamiteGizmo podcast. This is not the full episode. It is just a clip. But if you want to watch the full episode, make sure to click right here. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Do it right now. Alright, we got some Tom Aspinall news, ladies and gentlemen. It's still not confirmed whether or not Tom Aspinall is fighting Jon Jones for sure. But we've been seeing a lot of Tom Aspinall lately. He's all over the place. He is everywhere. We're even seeing him on the fucking Impulsive podcast, which gets my tonsils tickled. That tells me that because when you watch him on the Impulsive podcast, that was pre-recorded long ago, which means they had it in the bank waiting to upload it, which they do regardless. But this was filmed a while ago. So I think when it comes to shit like this, specifically Impulsive, I think guys like Dana White are telling Logan Paul that when he films this episode with Tom Aspinall, release it at this specific time, because that's when the news is about to come out. Okay? And then also the day before, Tom Aspinall was on Ariel Helwani. And there was no reason for him to be on Ariel's show. It's not like he had a fight coming up or there was some sort of announcement or anything. It was just we're seeing him leak into social media and podcasts and stuff, which it's a sign that something's happening. When you start to see a fighter who is in the talks of something about to happen, and when they start coming up on podcasts, it's like you know something's about to happen. So I need to show a clip here of the podcast. But before I do, I just want to talk about it first. So in the interview, of course, Ariel's asking him about Jon Jones. And I love these interviews with Ariel specifically. Say what you will about Ariel, but he always has the news. He always has the fighters. He always has the right fighters on at the right time when you know shit's about to happen. Okay? And he's been covering the sport forever. He knows what to ask, when to ask, how to ask it. So when he's asking about Jon Jones, you could see in Tom Aspinall's inflection that he has news. Because he just came out of a meeting with Hunter Campbell and Dana White. Right after, or right before, he did the Ariel show. So Ariel's pressing him. And he's questioning him. He's not pushing too hard because he knows what's up, but he's asking him questions. And Tom is taking a lot of long pauses. He's silent. And you could see the little glimmer of hope in his eye. You could tell he's confident that the fight is going to happen. And at one point, Ariel asks, I'm not asking if the fight's going to happen, but are you confident that it is going to happen? And Tom says yes. Okay? But the thing is, when Ariel asks if he thinks the fight will happen before fall, and then he says, did you set some sort of deadline? Tom Aspinall really fucking lingers on that question. And he starts talking about the 6-month thing, and he's like, how did you know about the 6-month thing? And then Ariel's like, don't ask me how I know my sources, yada yada. And so because Tom was kind of taking so long to come up with an answer for that, it could go one of two ways, where Tom actually knows that it is going to take 6 months, or it isn't going to take 6 months, but he's not allowed to reveal anything specifically that at all. But that's the thing about these interviews, when there's something big about to happen and you have the guy in the interview who is talking about the big thing, they're not allowed to say anything. So to try to interpret what's going on is damn near impossible. Because it might even be that Jon Jones isn't going to fight at all. And Tom Aspinall knows what's going to happen instead. And he has to just stay completely quiet. So when Ariel's asking him these sort of things, he's like thinking, like, how do I approach this? I know that Jon Jones isn't going to fight, but I can't say anything. So those are the things that might be going to... I doubt that's what's happening. I'm pretty confident that Jon Jones is going to fight Tom Aspinall just based off of this clip alone, which I'm going to show in a second here. But by the sounds of it, it seems like it's going to happen. We'll show the clip right now. Where is it? Here it is. Credit to Ariel for this, I guess? I don't know. Whoops.
Are you confident your next fight will be against John Jones?
You'll have to stay tuned, my friend. That's all I can tell you.
I'm not asking, is it going to be? I'm just asking if you're confident.
I'm confident.
Okay. Do you think you fight before the fall?
Are you saying about that 6-month thing?
Yeah.
How on earth do you know about the 6-month thing?
Tom, listen, I don't pry about your personal conversations. I don't appreciate you asking me for my sources, okay? I mean, there's a certain respect here, What do you want me to come out here and reveal everything?
Fair play.
That said, can I just add something before you answer it? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry? Go on. No,
I was going to say, I could see a scenario where they're like, all right, you want 6 months, how about 5 months and we'll meet you at your price or we'll get close. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's just what I was told in terms of what he wanted to prepare. I'm not saying it's...
When does the fall start?
I believe September 21st is the...
September 21st? Okay, that was good. I mean, you knew that pretty quick. I don't know. At the minute,
that was an interesting thing to say.
They're still going to settle on a few things, so I'm just waiting. I'm in shape. I'm ready to go whenever, and I'm ready to fight, man.
You don't have to tell me the answer. I'm just curious. Did you set some sort of deadline?
Pause.
I don't know if you would class it as a deadline, but there was talk about what's going to happen moving forward. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So I feel like we're getting. You were anticipating a big week. You were looking forward to a big meeting, and there is clarity, but it's not obviously done deal, set in stone, as Dana White said.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I can't really talk about, to be honest with you.
No, of course.
And I was prying at you, but you also like to pry, Ariel.
No, of course.
I understand that. That's your job. That's your job. I'm not pissed off about it. You know, I love you very much, Ariel. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not pissed off about it at all. But I just want to be careful what I say. Do you know what I mean?
No, of course. This is too big. This is too big.
Hunter, I have a lot of respect for Hunter.
Okay, that's kind of it. I recommend watching the full episode, or at least this full segment of Tom Aspinall on there. But I think for the most part, it seems like positive news. But a lot of long pauses, a lot of hums and haws. He obviously can't say shit. But I think part of me is thinking like him saying he's confident, him saying there's not a date per se. There's a lot of things that we need to figure out still. It makes me think he's just throwing Ariel off the scent completely. And they've trained Tom Aspinall to talk this way, specifically when it comes to Ariel, because they know he's going to talk to Ariel. And Dana White has been dealing with Ariel since fucking damn near the beginning of UFC, so he knows what kind of questions are going to be thrown his way. So they've trained Tom Aspinall to answer these specific ways so that he doesn't reveal anything and we don't have another Brock Lesnar situation where fucking Ariel announces that John Jones is coming back to fight Aspinall before it's even announced by the UFC. So I think, obviously, Tom Aspinall is going to fight for the undisputed heavyweight title. I'm 90% confident that it's going to be John Jones, but I'm like 10% confident there's going to be something completely left field that we're not even going to see coming. And we already know that Tom Aspinall is okay without fighting John Jones. It doesn't even have to be John Jones. He just wants to fight for the actual undisputed title. He doesn't give a fuck if it's John Jones, which is very concerning to me. That's the concerning part about it. Because if Tom Aspinall isn't concerning about John Jones, he just wants that title, which completely makes sense. I would feel that way as well. It makes me think like, oh, what if John Jones is just done? If John Jones doesn't get what he wants, he'll just be done. And what if the 6-month thing is true? Because even when Ariel asked that question about the deadline, Tom said, "Are you talking about that 6-month thing? How did you know about the 6-month thing?" The fact that he said, "How did you know about that 6-month thing?" was a little concerning, because that means that Tom is like, "Oh, that is a crucial piece of information that determines what's going to happen with this fight." And how did Ariel know this? He shouldn't have known this. He wasn't supposed to know about this. So what does that mean? Who knows? So the thought of Tom Aspinall not fighting John Jones for the title is super disappointing. Of course I want Tom Aspinall to be the undisputed heavyweight title of the world, champion of the world. But I don't want him to just go up against like Cyril Gane or whatever to unify the belt. You know what I mean? The only other option that would be just as exciting as John Jones would be if they brought back fucking Francis Ngannou. Now that shit would be fucking wild. Or, now this is a completely weird one, if they, this isn't even an option, this is just a thought I had, like if they brought Alex Pereira up to heavyweight to unify the heavyweight, which I could see them doing even though he did lose, or maybe they're waiting to see if Alex will win against Ankalaev, and then they'll put him against John Jones. But it's like, that is so much time. We'll have to wait for that, because we still have to wait a few more months until the rematch between Ankalaev and Alex, and then we'd have to wait a few more months for Tom Aspinall and Alex. But then that's like, okay, well, maybe that's where that 6-month thing is coming from. Because we're going to have Alex and Ankalaev in at least 3 months, and then another 3 months he could go for Alex Pereira. That's crazy, and I don't think that could happen. Well, it could happen, but I don't know if that's in the works. And for sure, Ngannou's not coming back. So, but if he did, imagine if Ngannou came back. I think that would be a bigger fight than John Jones even. Those are like the only two other options that would satisfy me and everyone else in the UFC if he couldn't fight John Jones. Because yeah, we want Tom Aspinall to be the title, the undisputed heavyweight title holder, but we want to see him against John Jones. That's the fight. It's not just a matter of Tom Aspinall winning the undisputed heavyweight title. It's about Tom Aspinall winning against Jones. That's what needs to happen. It's not simply him just getting the title. And it's like, well, if John Jones retires, would that just mean Tom would automatically get the title without even having to fight for it? That would be super disappointing. That's not going to be that disappointing. There's no way it could be something like that. But we're still, I think we're very fucking close. Like I said, because we're seeing Tom all over the place, and specifically seeing Tom on Impulsive, which whether or not you like Impulsive or like Logan Paul, it doesn't fucking matter. It's the fact that he was on Impulsive is a factor in determining what the fuck's going to happen moving forward. When you see stuff like that, like Tom doesn't do podcasts, but the fact that he was on Impulsive right this week, it's like, okay, that means something's happening. Something's happening. And we might even hear an announcement post UFC 314 what's going to happen. Because we already know UFC 314 is a fucking banger of a card. It might even be the best card of the year, aside from Jones and Aspinall. But so that's like the runner-up to the Jones-Aspinall fight. So I think post 314 we may hear the announcement, or we might even hear it pre 314, because a lot of fight announcements get done like right before the main card. Look at the press conference for 314. It literally happened the Friday before 313. One of the best press conferences we've had in a long time. They've been really boring lately, but that one was really good. Okay,
Tap here to watch the full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast.